Questions for Coach Stanley?
Go for the first one.
Fred, I know you've said how you obviously talked to Jerry in the dugout, consulted with him as you're watching a guy pitch early on tonight. What were you saying with Jerry? What were you guys talking about in regard to how good Michael looked out of the gate? And I don't know, what was that kind of like as you kind of thought about what he was doing out there?
Well, Coach Myers, he spends so much time breaking down opponents and watching video and trying to figure out hitters and putting together a pitching plan for our guy. And the only thing I have a conversation with him during the game is how he may be pitching a certain guy, so I can change the infield. And then Coach Holbrook will move the outfielders according to the way he's trying to work a particular guy. And of course, you know, sometimes Michael gets a changeup going, then he gets his breaking ball going, starts locating his fastball. We try to play defense according to what his plan is, but you know, our pitchers have to go out and perform, but Coach Myers does a heck of a job putting together a plan. If they can execute, we always have a chance. And you know, Michael had a couple runners on there, a couple of innings, but he was able to get out of it and battle hard for us and give us a chance to win. It was a special performance, no doubt about it.
Ray, just your side of that conversation before the 8th inning with him, what were you thinking? And it seemed like the thought was somebody gets on base, you're coming out.
Well, he was at 108, I believe it was. Like, he comes in the dugout, he missed a little bit high. Normally when a pitcher starts missing high, he's tired. And you know, I said, hey, if you're tired, let's be honest here. We got a pretty good bullpen down there, let's go. And he said, I feel good. And I said, you're missing high. And he said, you want to take me out? I said, you got ownership here. He said, I feel good. And he said, well, how about if, wait till I get a runner on. I said, I don't want a runner on. He said, well, I'll try not to put one on. And he said, I feel good. I'd like to go back out and throw 15 more. And I said, you've earned that, so get back out there. And if they hit you, I'm okay with it, but let's not give any free passes. And you know, most of our guys are pretty honest. I was a little concerned he was going to get emotional there and try to stretch it out more than he should, but he's earned the right to have input.
Well, wasn't it almost a little fitting, though, that he was able to come out to an ovation where you could take him out at a point where the crowd could acknowledge him in that way?
Are you accusing him of giving up a hit on purpose?
Not at all.
It was 0-2.
It was 0-2, and their guy reached out. It looked like it might have been away a little bit. He had to go out there and get that ball, but you know, it was. I guess sometimes things are fitting, you know, for his career to get an opportunity to, because he would have been out of the game at the end of the inning. So to you know, get that kind of applause and respect from our fans is very, very special. When he was coming off the field, I was thinking, I wonder how that feels. You know, that's got to be really, really neat. And I'm glad we were able to win tonight. We played pretty well. We did, other than maybe not getting the bunt down, Matthews bunted back to the pitcher. We played a pretty good game, and we'll need to do that to get another win in this series.
Ray, what's it like watching Roth when he is struggling for his command? I mean, it happened against Clemson early in the regional. It happened today with runners on. You just kind of have to put your hands in your pocket and say, you know, this guy's earned ownership, as you said. He'll battle through it.
Well, yeah, there is. There's two feelings that I have. One is, you know, I'm hoping the next pitch is when he finds it, or he goes back to back where he throws breaking ball, you know, change up and gets it going. But the other part is, I'm not going out there. I mean, we're not taking him out. You know, he's going to have to give up. He's going to have to give up something, and not just a little bit. He's going to have to make it bad before we go get him. That's the kind of guy he's been, and he's been great. You know, he had a situation tonight. He hit a pretty good ball in the middle. He turned it into a double play.
Ray, in terms of the weekend, how important is it for you guys to get this type of performance from him, where your bullpen, you know, Tyler Webb only has to throw 13 pitches, and kind of set your bullpen up for the rest of the weekend?
Well, that was big, but I think they're set up pretty good too. They only use 2 guys, and you know they'll come back. They used a bunch of guys last weekend, and they were successful. And I think the key really for both of us, and you know, Oklahoma and us, is you know, neither one of us throughout the season have been teams that will throw up a lot of runs on the board. We're both hitting about the same, 270 or so, and so that's an issue I think for both of us at times. And we pitched pretty well, and they've been good because they pitched really well down the stretch. So it was kind of the kind of game I expected tonight. We were able to push a couple of insurance runs across late, but they're really good on the mound. They got Overton came in and he had some good stuff, breaking ball, change up, and probably low to mid 90s. A couple of them looked like they were in the mid 90s, and he gave them a chance to come back. So they're ready to go on the mound. They got some fresh guys, and we've got Bill down there who didn't even get up. We got Matt up a little bit to see where he was, but they got guys rested as well. We'll get Webb back. We'll get him back tomorrow.
Have you ever coached a better and more unique student athlete than Michael Raw?
No, I don't think so. I've had some good ones over the years, but I was we were talking about him the other day for a guy that has achieved at the highest level academically. He's been an All-American between the lines. He's a community service guy, unsolicited, on his own, does a lot of things nobody knows about, has fun. That's very, very unique. That's something that you can try to do and you can't do it. And he's just been able to be like that his entire career. Even before he started having a lot of success on the field, he was still the same kind of guy. And he alluded to it a little bit, or you might have asked a question about a position player. He didn't take that too well. When we started using him on the mound, he was like, I'm a hitter, I can hit. And he's been hitting his entire career. He took batting practice today and came up with a big hit at Arkansas in that third game to help us win that game. So he's been a very, very special student athlete, no doubt about it.
Coach, last year, Coach Benders talked about it, and then Coach Galloway talked about it today about the environment here, and they wanting to replicate what you guys have already built. He said when the final out, Coach Galloway said today, when the final out was made, he made sure to look around and just soak it in. Is there a moment you get to soak it in? Do you ever get to enjoy this environment you guys have built?
I do appreciate it on a daily basis. I knew that many years ago that there was great tradition here, and there was a great fan base. And if you could put a good team on the field, they're going to be here for you. I never doubted that from day one, and it has been the case. And no matter what the sport is, whether it's football, basketball, or baseball, our fans are going to do their very best to try to get you in a position to win. They support us. They're passionate about it. I think they're very respectful to the visiting team as well. And like I said, on a daily basis, I appreciate that. This is, over the years, you see coaches, they try to asking about jobs and talking about jobs, and it's very, very special to be in a job that you don't feel like there's any better. And that's the way I feel. It doesn't get any better than this. Even back in the day at the Sarge, one of our coaches in the SEC, we had a game one day, and he said, my facility's better than yours. He said, but I would rather be you, because you have great fans, you have great support. When we were packing it out over at the Sarge, and then we move over here, and it just doesn't get any better. And it's not something I don't appreciate. I'm extremely grateful for the resources and the support we have. It makes a difference. You still have to go out and players have to play, but it certainly is a big assist.
Coach, is this a long night for you, knowing you have to wait all the way till 7 o'clock tomorrow to lace it up and play again, knowing what's at stake?
Today was a struggle. I got to be honest with you. It was a struggle. I tried to stay at home as long as I could today, and I think I was over here 10:30. It's a struggle. But it is 7 o'clock instead of 8 o'clock tomorrow, so we move up an hour. But it's all good. Talking to the NCAA reps about all the games been on television, we've come a long way, and that's why it is what it is with the different game times. And we're grateful to be where we are. We're glad to be in this position, and somehow we'd like to win another game.
Ray, you were talking a little bit yesterday about how early on in your career you guys were coming close a lot, not getting over the top, but now you guys are constantly that team. Everyone wants to emulate that team that gets to Omaha. Can you talk a little bit about the turnaround that's happened here with you, with this team, as far as going from that team that always got close to the team that's almost always expected to make it?
Well, I think there's a it's a situation that has to evolve. It doesn't happen overnight, and maybe some other coaches across the country feel differently, but you have to get in a position that you feel good about your team and who you are and your players, and you feel like you have an opportunity. It doesn't mean you're going to win all the time, but if you can feel that way all the time, that's the best you can do. And you know, I've been on teams that you felt like maybe we didn't have enough runs late in the game, or we didn't have a good enough bullpen, or you know, whatever the situation may be. And you get to a point that you feel like you're going to find a way. Whether you do or not, you still feel like it. And you can lose, but tomorrow you still feel like you have a chance to win. And it takes time to get to that point. And you have to have players make that happen with their mindset and their approach. And it's not an easy thing, and it can turn, it can change. But these guys have played enough, and they respect the game, they understand it, and you get knocked down, but you have to get back up, and that's what it's all about. You know, no matter what happens, you know, we feel like we got an opportunity, whether we get it done or not. We feel like we can, and that's the key.
1-0. A lot of these guys have been in this position before. How easy is it for you knowing that these guys kind of know what to expect, and you can kind of, I guess, just kind of let it ride?
Well, that's the good. I mean, that really is the good news. You know, we could get boat race 2 days in a row, but the point is, our guys understand what's going on. They get it. It's not going to be tremendous anxiety and tension and nerves. We just go out and play baseball and hope we play well enough to win a game. We don't have those factors that will enter into the game that maybe we would have years ago. We'll just go out and play and try to put together a good game, and that's all you can do.
Coach.